सर्वधर्मस्थापकत्वं सर्वधर्मस्वरूपकः आचार्याणां महाचार्यो रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste, pranam. For the first time, maybe Sri Ramakrishna is so very critical about the householders that it is extremely difficult, he says, for householders to get onto the path of spirituality. The situation is extremely difficult. And this he is addressing to the father-in-law of Rakhal's father. Rakhal's father and Rakhal's father-in-law, they are also today among these devotees who have come to imbibe those nectarine teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Rakhal's father knows his son, he is so much attached to Sri Ramakrishna. He spends a lot of time at Dakshineshwar learning from Sri Ramakrishna the ways to God. And he doesn't have any objection for that. So Sri Ramakrishna also, knowing that these two relatives, the closest relatives of Rakhal are here, he is trying to impress upon them that the real way, the only way rather, is to get into the monastic life. And that is what Rakhal did later. Now, Sri Ramakrishna has told that it is the extremely difficult situation for the worldly people, for the householders. And then he said the situation is very difficult. There is so much confusion in the world. If you go this way, you are threatened with a shovel, as if somebody is ready there, about to strike you with that shovel and injure you and harm you. That is what happens if you go one way. Then, if you go that way, you are threatened with a broomstick. If you go this side, there is somebody with a shovel about to hit you. You go that side, there is somebody with a broom again going to hit you. If you go to the third side, Sri Ramakrishna says, in another direction, you are threatened with shoe beating. So, anywhere you go, you get nothing but the chances of getting beaten up by all these the worldly things, all these worldly temptations. They are as if keen on destroying you. There is extremely difficult situation for the householders, Sri Ramakrishna says. But then he says, no, there is a way out. One has to have a strong determination of going only for the real. Never chase these illusions, never chase these ephemeral things, never chase these momentary things of the worldly enjoyments. Go only for the real. That is, and you should have that strong determination. The strong determination that Sri Ramakrishna had told, he himself, when his physician Ganga Prasad Sen had told him, when Sri Ramakrishna was once very seriously ill, Ganga Prasad Sen told him, I will give you medicine, but you have to stop drinking water. And everybody was wonderstruck. How can he do it? Will he be able to live without even a drop of water? And Sri Ramakrishna did. He said, I just gave up even drop of water. Till the time that medication was on, Sri Ramakrishna was without even a drop of water. Only exception was he could drink a little bit of pomegranate juice. That's it. Maybe 1 or 2 spoons. So that kind of determination, Sri Ramakrishna says, one must have if one has to follow the path of God. And then second way out, there is also a way out, he had told, that a strong spirit of renunciation one should develop. Renounce all the unreal. Renounce all the momentary. Renounce all these illusory things which are surrounding you. Just give up. That is the way to reach God, Sri Ramakrishna says. And therefore, Sri Ramakrishna told Rakhal's father, that is the reason why I want all these youngsters, Rakhal, Naren, Baburam, Tarak, all these people to come and spend time with me so that they can learn from me. How to lead way to God, how to trade on this path towards God. And once they are ready with it, it is their choice. If they want to lead householders' life, let them lead householders' life. If they want to take up the monastic life, it is their choice. Because now they are fully ready to make that choice. Whether to stick for the real and how to handle all these unreal things. How to handle all these temptations. How to handle all these illusory things. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna has once again assured Rakhal's father. Don't worry about your son. And eventually, all these boys who used to spend time with Sri Ramakrishna, most of them, they took up to the monastic way of living and established the wonderful, great Ramakrishna order. So that was Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, and now a devotee asks another question. If God is responsible for everything, hmm, then why should people speak of good and evil, virtue and vice? One commits sin also by the will of God. Isn't that so? If you say that it is all the God's will, like that we were telling, by the will of Rama, if everything is by the will of Rama, then why should somebody hesitate from committing a sin? Why someone should fall back from committing any sin? It is God's will that devotee asks. It is God's will. Let him do whatever he wants. He wants me to do sin, I will do sin. So that was the question. And then another devotee said, how can we understand the will of God? We don't have the way to understand the will of God, the devotees tells Sri Ramakrishna. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, there is no doubt that virtue and vice exist in the world. But virtue and vice is there, good and bad is there, the holy and unholy is there. But God himself is never affected by them. Sri Ramakrishna says, God himself is unattached to all these pairs of opposites, the virtue and vice, the holy and unholy. So don't blame it on God that, oh, God has asked me to do sin, therefore I have committed this sin. No, God is not attached with any of the pairs of opposites. Neither holy nor unholy, neither virtue nor vice, nor good nor evil. God is absolutely unattached from. He has created them. But then God is never attached with them. And then Sri Ramakrishna gives an example that there may be good and bad smells in the air, but the air is not attached to them. Air has got nothing to do with that. Very nice smell. If somebody has put on a spray or flowers in the room, in the flower vase, the room will be having such a great fragrance. The air in that room will have the great fragrance of those flowers. Another time, there may be some dirty smell. Air will carry that smell also. But does air remain attached to those smells? No. Neither the fragrance of the flower smell nor the dirty smell. Air is absolutely unattached. And Sri Ramakrishna says, so is God. There is virtue and vice, no doubt about it. But God himself is unattached. The very nature of God's creation is that good and evil, righteousness and unrighteousness will always exist in the world. It will always be there. Because that is what Mahamaya has created this creation for. It will have both good and bad. It will have both beautiful and the not so beautiful things. It will have pious things. It will have the evil things. Everything it will have in this creation. It will have gods. It will have demons. Everything is filled in this creation by that Mahamaya. Among the trees in the garden, one finds mango and jackfruit trees and also hawk plum. Hawk plum is, nobody wants to eat hawk plum. Mango and jackfruit, everybody is going after those. The mango is the king of fruits. People love to eat mango, but hawk plum, oh no, I am not going to eat at all. Both the trees are there in this garden. Mango is there, jackfruit is there, and the hawk plum is also there. Haven't you noticed that even wicked men are needed, Sri Ramakrishna says, in this creation? Both have to be there. The good and the wicked both have to be there. And then Sri Ramakrishna gives this example of why wicked men are also needed in this world. Sri Ramakrishna says, suppose there are rough tenants on an estate, then the landlord must send a ruffian to control them. He must send a gunda to control those other gundas who are creating trouble for the estate owner. That those ruffian tenants, they have to be handled with the same kind of practice that those tenants are creating for the owner. So, ruffian treats an ruffian. The the thorn is used to take out another thorn. That is another example Sri Ramakrishna always gives. So the wicked is very much part and parcel. Wicked, bad, the ugly, the unholy. They are very much part and parcel of this creation, but God is not attached to them. Don't ever put that blame on God. It is the God's will that I have committed sin. No, sin you commit. Don't put the blame on God. And then the conversation again turned to the life of householder. Now, Sri Ramakrishna wanted to bring it to the notice of Rakal's father and Rakal's father's father-in-law that householder's life is extremely tough, and let these youngsters, they learn these things right at this stage. There is no point of learning the skill of leading Godward at the ripe old age like Rakal's father's father-in-law. He is a devotee, no doubt. But there is no point in learning how to walk this path at the later stage. The beginning you should do right from your young age. Sri Ramakrishna says, you see, by leading a householder's life, a man needlessly dissipates his mental powers. We are all treasures of mental powers. We have huge mental powers with us. But we are all wasting these mental powers. We are just dissipating the powers that we are born with. We don't know how to use them. They are just going waste instead of channelizing them. All those mental powers that we have. We can't meditate, we can't concentrate, we can't focus our mind on God. Why? Because our mental powers have gone so weak. We don't have that strength, mental strength. We can't focus our mind on to the lotus feet of the Divine Mother. The moment we start doing japa, the moment we start doing meditation, that is, the mind goes here and there and everywhere. Our mental status is so weak. Whereas we are born with great powers. All these attractions, all these temptations of the worldly enjoyments, they are distracting our mental powers. They are all going outwards instead of focusing inward. The loss he thus incurs can be made up if he takes to monastic life. The loss of these mental powers that a person incurs, he can make it up by leading monastic life. This is a clear-cut, instruction to Rakhal's father, possibly. One should lead a monastic life, and then all these mental powers, they are retained the way they should be used. Then Sri Ramakrishna says that in person's life, there are several stages of birth. The first birth is a gift of the father. That is the first birth, the biological birth. It is a gift from the father. The father has put you in your mother's womb and you are born. That is the first birth. That is the first blessing that the father has given you. The second birth is, then comes the second birth, when one is initiated with the sacred thread, the Upanayana ceremony. The three, among the Hindu caste system, the three castes, Brahmin, Kshatriya and Vaishyas, they are entitled to undergo the Upanayana ceremony, where they put on the sacred thread, they get the holy name. That is the second birth. From there, the Brahmacharya period starts. After the Upanayana, after the sacred thread. So that is the second birth. In a sense, the person, the boy, he takes up to the path of knowledge. He takes up to the path of following Guru's instructions. And Guru is then second birth is given by that Guru. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, there is still another birth at the time of being initiated into monastic life. That is the ultimate birth, Sri Ramakrishna says. When one gets initiated into the monastic life, after performing the Viraja home, when the sannyasis, they take the sannyas, they kind of offer the last rites to this body as such. They perform shraddha of this physical body, because now is the new body they have got. Post monastic life, taking the vows of monastic life, they are starting a third birth now. So, uh, there is still another birth at the time of being initiated into monastic life. The two obstacles to spiritual life are woman and gold. Sri Ramakrishna is constantly telling Kamini Kanchan. Although he uses word Kamini, he basically refers to Kama Kanchan, the lust and greed, the woman and gold. Attachment to woman diverts one from the way leading to God. Naturally, the entire mental processes, the mental powers that we possess, they are all being wasted on these two temptations, the lust and the greed. And we can never lead on the way to God with the mind getting attracted by the lust and greed. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, man doesn't know what it is that causes his downfall. He doesn't even realize that he is going down. He doesn't even realize that he is getting destroyed. And foolishly, he chases that illusion of lust and greed with all those mental powers that he has. They are all wasted on these illusory things, on these momentary things, on these ephemeral things, on these temporary things. So, Sri Ramakrishna makes man even doesn't know that, oh, he's going down, he's going down. And for that, he gave his own example. Sri Ramakrishna once was going to fort. There is a fort in Calcutta. He was referring to fort in Calcutta. He said that once while going to the fort, I couldn't see at all that I was driving down a sloping road. I was not aware at all. I was going down that road to the fort. But when the carriage went inside the fort, then I realized, oh my God, I was there on top, and now how low I have come. I have come to the fort. I have come to the lowermost portion. I have come all the way down. This happened with me when I was visiting that fort, and this is what happens with ordinary householders who are not devotional bent, or who are not even bent in knowledge. So they don't know their downfall, but they are downgrading themselves. They are creating their own destruction by following the path of lust and greed instead of following the path towards God, instead of leading the path towards God. Alas, Sri Ramakrishna says, unfortunately, women keep men deluded. This is what happens. That temptation of lust is so strong that men are always deluded and they don't realize their downfall. Like Sri Ramakrishna himself didn't realize that he was going down the slope. After reaching the fort, then he realized, oh my God, I have come down such a long distance. That is what happens with the householders. They don't even realize that they are going to get destroyed. It is their downfall when they are getting attracted towards these two temptations of lust and greed. And then Sri Ramakrishna quotes an example of one of his devotee disciples, Captain Vishwanath. He was a government official from government of Nepal. He was posted in Calcutta and a great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. So this captain used to say, Sri Ramakrishna says, captain says, my wife is full of wisdom. Of course, I mean, she was a great devotee too. But Sri Ramakrishna says, captain says, my wife is full of wisdom. But captain doesn't know that his wife is also creating a path of downfall for him. Fortunately for both, for captain and his wife, Sri Ramakrishna was there to take them out of that downward trend. They were great devotees of Sri Ramakrishna and great admirers, the great disciples even. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna says, that man possessed with ghost does not realize that he has been possessed by ghost. He says, "Why? I am all right." He doesn't know he's possessed with ghost. The householder doesn't know he is possessed with the ghost of lust and greed. He thinks everything is fine. I'm not going down. I'm not getting destroyed. But still, following that temptation of lust and greed, he is creating his own path of destruction. Outwardly, he says, "Oh, I'm fine. There is nothing wrong with me. I'm just enjoying a few worldly enjoyments." No, that is not the way, sir. That is what Sri Ramakrishna says, that he doesn't realize that he is going down and down and down and down in the trap of lust and greed. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swami.